Early jabs thrown here by both teams. Really going aggressive in this early game, and also maybe just establishing their territory in the mid lane. Thought about taking a bit of damage, chunked down to half already. He's gonna be forced to recall because of this, but it's not gonna be that much affecting this early game for the side of Hong Kong Attitude. We have to keep watch though of Overfly because of, well, it's flight. It's a Superman. Such a huge amount of movement speed that can affect his rotation, which can affect the overall map pressure onto Hong Kong Attitude. That's something that they should be keeping watch, especially that Nunu is gonna be having this Wonder Woman in the mid lane, so there is that kind of pressure in the mid lane for Easy as we see an engage here onto the top. A bow after chunking down, being chunked down to half and forced to recall. Now he's gonna be a victim of a first blood by BRU. This is gonna be enabling their early game quite early, perhaps 500 gold lead. It's not that much, but it's already something that can boost the momentum here of Buriram United Esports.
And this is what I'm saying. If they have the capability of adding that Alice to their lineup, they already have that mobility. They are gonna have better rotations for sure, because that is gonna be speeding up on how they can cross the map, and that is the beauty of having an Alice. And that's gonna be Dada trying to go for a steal. That's a double trouble, and that's a lot of wombo combos. He was not able to move, and a lot of the resources on the side of HKA is going to be taken by Buriram United.
Yeah, it's a lot of things to consider right now as the game progresses. BRU, they love having this kind of strategy. They like going in hard and establishing a solid control in the early game, and now they do have it. 2-0 on the board, 800 gold lead, but we're seeing KSSA getting dived upon here. Hong Kong Attitude trying to strike back, where they're lacking in terms of damage because they have to scale. That is their thing. They can't do much on this early game for now. They have to keep watch on the rotations here of Buriram United Esports, and also maybe if they do want to get some kills, they have to target isolated members of BRU, but it's hard to get those types of scenarios because BRU keeps on grouping up.
Yep, and the double trouble is not gonna get a hit, and that is still gonna be a nice attempt. It's gonna be adding more pressure when they actually see that the Laville is going to be in the area. They're always going to be thinking, and Nuno is going to be missing that bracelet submission, and a bow uses the shock to disengage. And this has been the characteristic of what is happening for HKA. And so far, this is going to be a disaster for HKA.
Yeah, it's well, early game 1000 gold lead, not that much. Scaling is still gonna be really important here for Hong Kong Attitude, and now they're trying to dive here onto Overfly. Finally, they do take him down. That's gonna be helping them a little bit with regards to their momentum, as it is the Omen that has secured that kill. It will help him scale up a little bit more if we compare the gold of these both solo laners. 1.9 on Overfly and 2.4k on CC. Now he has a little bit of an upper hand with regards to rotations now in the mid lane. Easy gets taken down. Nunu has taken the kill, and it's just them 2 versus 3. It's not a problem at all for BRU. That's how confident they are in these small skirmishes.
Yes, and with Nunu actually taking out the kill at the front of 2 of the heroes of HKA, nothing, they were not able to do anything at all to actually help Easy in that situation. That's how dangerous the combination of adding that Alice with the silences and slow. They have the capability to go in, and this is very, very characteristic of how Buriram wants to play this kind of composition. They want to speed up the rotations. They always go for those 3v1s and even those 4v3s wherein they're gonna have the advantage.
Yeah, and well, this is already a bit of a good advantage established by BRU. As we check out the replay, not much damage taken here by both KSSA and Nunu. And as they take already their second Abyssal Dragon, Hong Kong Attitude hasn't started this Dark Slayer yet, so maybe BRU can take this as they do dive onto a bow. Ulti already expended, so no engage tool on the side of Hong Kong Attitude. They have to give this Dark Slayer away, but we do see CC split pushing onto the bot side. This will help them have something to squeeze out in these kinds of scenarios while they do scale, and that is kind of the output or the result from that kill a while ago that they got onto Overfly. Now there is a dive once again here onto the top. Double Trouble didn't connect to anyone because of that orb, but they will secure the Spirit Sentinel. So no casualties again for Hong Kong Attitude, but we're starting to see the pressure being built up here by BRU, making that prioritization on to Shaolin and Easy to kind of shut them down, because they know they would struggle trying to take down CC. So they're just sending Overfly to take care of him, just delay the push while they make some plays around the map.
Yep, and it is gonna be a problem here that Overfly is not gonna have the best of time against a Omen, and he is just gonna be locked down. All of his abilities are actually not gonna be effective on the Omen and also the Quick Knock, and he's gonna be spotting up the Dark Slayer lane with F1 looking into the jungle. There's going to be a lot of information. Dada and CC are already in the area. Easy is just going to be stunning him. But with Nunu being too fast, he's not going to be caught out. Abao is just using the sprint to get that cleave in. He is not going to be connecting most of those strikes just because the damage for that Malok is not going to be considerable. CC is going to be there. The Orb of Frost is going to be blocked out. F1 might be taken out, but with the Orb of Frost, he is going to be able to outlive them on that clash, and that's a lot of resources again onto the side of BRU. They are going to be prolonging the league at still at a 1K with Hong Kong Attitude trailing.
Yeah, they are training a little bit for now, and it's due to the fact that they don't have that enough damage yet. They're not enabled for the moment. We don't see Shaolin dealing a lot of damage. We don't see the huge amount of poke coming in from Easy just yet. It's not their time. They should be avoiding team fights for now, because BRU is always gonna get the upper hand, and we do see it happen consistently already. Now Abao, after that slash, he is gonna popping that ulti to just disengage, and again, no engage tool for Hong Kong Attitude. They have to give this Holy Dragon away. Slowly but surely, BRU are sneaking these objectives to help them scale up and also delay the scaling of Hong Kong Attitude. But with this Dark Slayer secured, with the help of CC onto the side lane, they will be able to take it down. Not without a trade onto the bot side tier 1. So they're gonna answer with a tower of their own onto top. Probably even 2, as a double trouble has been used to try and initiate for the other members of VRU, while that push is continuously happening onto the bot side. Difoxen deals a bit of damage onto Abao, but with the numbers disadvantage, they should be fleeing as of the moment. KSSA might actually get caught about trying to sprint. Here comes the entry by Dada, and they take down the Alice. Now Difoxen going on a 1 versus 3. Is gonna get taken down as well. That is 2-0. Make that a 2 versus 1. 2 for 1, because Overfly has taken out CC in the mid lane after that dive, and they're gonna be spawning up this Infinite Slayer in the mid to try and take this tower down, up their goal. And now everything is even. Hong Kong Attitude, with a few team fights, small skirmishes that are in their favor, have finally caught up onto BRU.
Yup, MBRU is now the one trailing just because of that double kill. BRU actually needs to Foxen to actually accrue more gold to actually sustain them in the late game, because the damage coming in from Nunu in F1 is going to be considerable, but it is not going to be enough to take down that Omen. And with the others on the backside, of course, not letting an easy kill on their comrades of HKA, they need the Foxen to actually pop off in this game, and it is going to be F1, Nunu, and most of the members of BRU here onto the mid lane, and they are dealing a lot of PLs onto CC and Abao. We are
Yeah.
actually in the point wherein we're gonna see some of the damage already translating to their items, with the Loville already having the Clave Sanctity and Slick Sting. Maybe a Muramasa is already in the works for the Foxen, while on to Shaolin, he already has a Rack Breaker, maybe an Omni Arms, and definitely a Clave Sanctity.
And we're seeing BRU grouping up constantly, just like in the early game, trying to force this retaliation coming in from Hong Kong Attitude. CC trying to split push, but due to the fact that Overfly has a decent amount of wave clear, he's being stopped for the moment, trying to avoid the Superman, but also Hong Kong Attitude needs to be really careful because of the double trouble initiation for the side of BRU. If that hits anyone, that could spell out disaster here for Hong Kong Attitude. But they do take a bit of damage here onto KSSA with that engaged Dada as well. It's really confident, trying to get in. And now they commit onto this team fight, but Overfly with a nice flank, zoning the other members away. So that turns into a disaster. That double trouble even connects. No escape for Easy. 4 members dead on the side of Hong Kong Attitude. And BRU now looks to push mid.
Yep, and that is going to be Dada entering the fray. The his fit being used in the Fox and doing a lot of damage. That's going to be a Procton on the passive, but with Overfly here onto the top lane, going in for the push. Maybe if we get one tier 3, they are going to have the better late game, because that's a lot of kills and a lot of objectives that they have secured. CC already gets that dead timer in, the golems are being secured, and the double trouble is gonna get a hit on Dada. He might be in danger, but that is still BRU being late to the party, but a nice attempt. But we're gonna see Overfly missing out those pushes. Is he gonna be able to secure Dada here? He might be taking out one more, and that's still a disengagement, and with KSSA being taken out, they need to back out.
Yeah, it's a simple trade, you know, a simple punish onto KSSA trying to help out his teammates, but unfortunately the other members of Hong Kong Attitude are also there, so the rest of the members of BRU just focus onto the Holy Dragon, so at least they'll get something out of that situation. Now with the 4v5, Hong Kong Attitude looks to secure this Infinite Slater, help them be able to push into a lane, and also avoid getting pushed onto their base as well, denying that push capability from BRU. And I want to talk about a while ago, you know, them engaging in the mid lane that turned into a disastrous result for Hong Kong Attitude. It can actually work, but they shouldn't actually try to chase down BRU, because they have to remember, crowd control is really high on the side of BRU, and if Overfly gets a good position for that speeding bullet and also the amount of crowd control that they do have, it's going to be spelling out disaster for Hong Kong Attitude. And we already had a sneak peek on that in the mid lane. Now BRU is trying to engage, double trouble did not connect onto anyone. With Dada and CC on the side lanes, they're not going to be committing onto anyone, but all right now CC is getting chased. Superman is also here. That's gonna be really difficult to escape from, as the crowd control is really insane. The cavalry is here on the side of Hong Kong Attitude, but this is a questionable response by them, as that will be 2 kills picked up here by BRU. A trade into the mid lane with the Infinite Slayer spawned here, but they're not gonna be getting a tower out of this, because Hong Kong Attitude is just getting pushed onto the top, and Dada has to flee due to the fact that BRU is having this high response rate onto these kinds of pushes. No tower's gonna get taken down. Still a 2,000 gold lead by BRU. Not that much high as of the moment. Hong Kong Attitude can still catch up.
Yep, and now we're gonna see Buriram United actually being deterred on that push just because of that infinite slayer onto the middle lane. That is going to be a nice strategy for HKA with Dada being able to actually get the waves on the bot lane. But the Dark Lord Slayer is going to be started, and CC gets bursted out again. Look at the damage coming in from the backside. Wow, is not even going to be able to last. And without those front lines, how can they actually perform? Buriram United is now here in the middle lane with a 3 versus 5. Let's see what's going to happen is if it is going to be used for that slow, easy, goes in with also the transformation to the human form. KSSA is going to be using that disrupt, getting a lot more of the time to get that tier 3 turret. And with overfly in the area, are they going to be able to take that? Dada uses a drone drop, but he is going to be taken out. He still has a blade of eternity. He is going to fall down. The Foxen goes in and tries to kill Shaolin. He is going to be left here onto their base. CC is going to be respawning there, but the Nexus block is already there. Buriram United takes game number 1.
A strong start translated into a strong finish. That is how BRU, they like to go on to sprints. And they make sure that it works because they know the risk, they know the effects of having to pick up many meta heroes, and we saw them being a little or maybe even more efficient, especially in their decision making.